Oh, there we are.
Oh, there we are. We are live. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Women of the World Network. Good morning, Maurine. Good to see you. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome, welcome. It's great to have you. I am going to be chatting today with one of our newer members, Maurine, and the amazing work that she's doing. And welcome, Maurine. Happy Friday. Great to be with you. Before we jump onto our conversation, I wanted to introduce her to you, and while other ladies are joining us here. So Maurine is a recovering CPA who now is a breakthrough mentor, inspirational speaker, and divine guide. Maurine supports trailblazing women who deal with self-doubt and are deeply committed to living in the flow. Women who work with Maurine feel lighter, clear, and more confident. They effortlessly start attracting their ideal clients and partners. Some have increased their earnings from 25 to 300%. Wow. Huge. Maurine has 3 decades experience as a CPA, a financial executive, and a wellness entrepreneur. She also has 2 decades experience in training and in personal growth, channeling divine guidance and transformation. Maurine has been married for 33 years, has children ages 28 and 26, and recently walked her first half marathon. Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you. That's good. I appreciate. I was great. How I start things is interesting, and I did it. So it's cool.
I will have to talk about that. I love it. Congratulations. That's awesome. So welcome, Maurine. Great to have you. I am excited about this conversation. So I'm sure they usually go so fast because of the, they're just great. So my first question I usually like to ask is, what makes you unique? What's your authentic self? What's your uniqueness that's different?
Well, the first answer that comes to my mind is everything is about me is unique, because we are all unique. Each one of us is our own speck of light with our own pattern and our own desires and our own longings and our soul desires. And specifically what makes me unique, I was actually talking to one of my clients on Wednesday, and she like laughs because I was an accountant. I was a CPA. I was a division controller. I did mortgages and processing and offering for a decade. And then I went back in, I knew accounting wasn't my calling, and it made money. It was something I made money at, and it was what was available to me. And she was just laughing because she's in the process of getting audited by the IRS. So she's putting together all these finances and putting things together and making them match up. And she goes, "You used to do this." And she was just like, "I can't believe that you used to, do that in comparison to what you do now." So the reality is, what my journey is a journey of faith. It's a journey of openness. It's a journey of being, living into my soul's calling and doing what I never would have predicted to do. I never even, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I said I wanted to help people become physically, financially, and emotionally free. And at that point, I was doing it with a network marketing company and an MLM, because the product brought me to life. I saw financial freedom. I saw the teams. I saw, new affirmations that were changing my mindset. And that was like my longing, right? That was a longing that was coming forth in me. And it was a financial failure. I learned a lot, and I ended up spending way more money than I ever made in it, because it was my training ground. I was also a mother at that point in time. So I was the primary caregiver. That was always my priority. And it was part of my journey. And I continued on that journey, and I went through a radical spiritual awakening 5 years ago, where now, the guides, I work with a team of divine guides. I channel divine guidance. I work with a set of healing modality codes. And, sometimes, and sometimes people who've passed over show up in our meetings if that's what's meant to be. So I know what's involved in taking a total leap of faith, to leave accounting, to know that I have a purpose and a vision, and I've got a lot of stuff I've learned, and that I can support other women to follow their passion and follow their soul calling and follow their joy, and have no idea of how am I going to make money? How am I going to get clients? How am I going to talk about stuff that's weird that people don't understand? So that's what makes me unique. I know what it's like, and I'm still walking the path every single day. I'm still in the cutting edge, birthing something that's new, not having the answers, having a download and going, okay, okay. And a part of me going, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do it, or all, the stuff that's involved in showing up and learning and having faith and continuing to turn it over.
Wow. So much said there. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, congratulations, first of all, on your true journey that you're on right now, and that you found that path. And I didn't even realize our journeys are kind of similar, because I used to be also in corporate, and then I used to be in direct sales as well. Great business school. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Sure. You're welcome.
I speak to some women and people overall, women and men, who do not know what they're supposed to do. They have some ideas, some vague directions maybe. And something you said there, how you transitioned, and even that transition itself from CPA, like you said, to something that you're doing today. If you talk to someone who may be doing CPA today, you tell them that could be the past, they probably couldn't believe it. That's not my skill set. That's, right. And so on and so forth. So all these obstacles are all these things that we imagine, but people who don't know, but they want to find that. How did you find that? What the voice, or how did you come to what you're doing today, and finding that's my true journey, that's where I want to be, that's what I want to do, and it's all aligned now with everything. And you have the guides now, and I know it's amazing because I had a session with you, everything you said. So how can people get there? How can they find that true path if they're doing something today that brings money? Or maybe how they can start that on a side, or finding that. So, or maybe how was it for you? How did you realize that this is it? This is me.
It's been a paying attention to what wants to happen. You listen to the quiet voices. The very first thing, I was actually at a birthday dinner, and my friend and my upline in network marketing, she said the word transformation. She was doing interviews with who ended up being my, transformational teacher. She said the word transformation, and 3 months into when I started network marketing, I heard the word transformation just came to me. It was like one of these words out of nowhere, and it landed here. And then when she said transformation again, that she was interviewing, it was like, I literally felt it. I felt it in my body. I felt a lean in. It was like, there's something there to pay attention to. So that was one of my first signs. I honestly had I had no idea what true transformation was.
Right.
And it's also being open to pay attention to signs. Because again, however many years later, I was at the point I'd spent, again, thousands and thousands of dollars of training to help my business survive and thrive. And I had gotten to the point where I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done investing in things because it's not working. So I had said to myself, I'm going to stop going to coaches. I'm going to stop doing these things because they're not working. And the man, whose name is Dr. David Kamnitzer, and he's a holistic healer, and he's my transformational teacher. And he's like, he calls himself, well, a current day mystic. He had co-led this event I was at, and I filled out a form. And on the form, I deal with anxiety, I deal with depression. I grew up in an alcoholic family. You know, I've had a whole history of things. I took antidepressants for over 20 years, which I graduated from. So this is like a sign of what's possible. But I'd filled out this form, and he called me once, and I was like, nope, not interested in doing anything more now. He called me a second time, still like, no, I'm not interested. I'm consciously, like, I was being prudent. When he called me the third time, and this was 6 months into me being part of Adult Children of Alcoholics, the third step is to turn it over to a higher power. The third time he called me, I can still picture myself sitting at my desk. I looked up to God. I go, okay, God, I'm willing to listen now. And so, like, I walked in his office and I sat down and I felt his presence, and I just knew I was meant to be there. Mm-hmm. And, then fast forward, I went through a very painful, very dark part of my life where I wasn't honoring my joy. I was being in accounting was honestly killing me. I was depressed. I had become hopeless. I would become suicidal because I was not following my joy. I was not following my passion. I was doing the financially responsible thing, but I was not fulfilling my soul's calling. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that was what was happening. Mm-hmm. But finally, when I wanted something more, mm-hmm. when I wanted to be a better partner, when I decided to turn it more over again, then more opportunities came to me. And it was literally an ecstatic. It was the quiet voices showing up at a spiritual event. And then it was joy. So the third thing is, first thing I said was pay attention, listen for the things that pop in your head that you don't understand. When you feel it in your body, when there's signs, when the same thing keeps showing up again, it's a sign. When you're feeling depressed or down or stuck, you're not meant to be stuck.
Right.
There is a path for us. When we're willing to pay attention and follow the path, there is a path for us. And then when stuff shows up in your life that you just feel so joyous about, that's a sign.
Yeah.
So those, I'd say, are the biggest things. Mm-hmm. And to continue to have faith.
Yeah.
And be open. Mm-hmm. And to not know. I mean, really, that's a huge one, is to be willing to not know. To be willing to not have the answers. What my teacher has taught me is that you end up discovering, you don't find your purpose, mm-hmm. you live into it, and then you discover your purpose. Mm-hmm. So you show up, you're willing to not know, you follow the joy, you get on the playing field, you make mistakes, you learn. And then when you look back, I say to here, physically, financially, and emotionally free. I look back, that was part of what I was meant to do. But at the time I didn't I knew I wanted it, but I didn't realize that was literally, this is another stage along the path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Well, thank you for that. That is so true. When we are in joy, our whole body, our whole aura, everything is in joy, and we feel the warmth, we feel the happiness, and we feel the cold, we feel the sadness, or definitely, yes. So that's amazing, beautiful. So what prompted you to start marathon? I wanted to ask about that.
It was, I've had a commitment to be comfortable in my body. I want to be, I've lived most of my life out here. So it was about 3 years ago, I realized I wasn't even in my body. Uh-huh. So now when I'm out of my body, I've been an empath, and it was a safety mechanism for me to be out of my body. I thought it was better out there than it was in here. So now that I'm in my body, I've been on this journey to be comfortable in my body. And I started working out with my mentor, or Karen Hoffman, about a year ago, doing workouts. And I, I feel my lower back hurts, my legs hurt. I'll go out. There was a period of time where I could walk long distances and I wouldn't hurt. And then I went through a not moving much phase. And then I would notice if I wanted to be able to walk, 5 to 7 to 10 miles and not hurt. So it was a process. It was my intention from it was to be able to walk long distances without hurting. And she was offering, it's follow the signs. She was offering an opportunity. Carla Frank is her name. I liked how she was teaching. It's sensing in your body. And actually, well, part of the funny thing is I told her when I started, I go, I have no intention of walking a half marathon. I am not here to walk a half marathon. I was resistant. She said a training plan. I go, I am not here to train. I don't want to have anything to do with that stuff. And I kept showing up. And, there was goals, there was accountability. I kept learning, I kept practicing and being in my body. And then when I was about, it was a 6-month long program, and I was about 4 months into it. It's like, let's see, let's do it. Let's see what happens here. And then I did it, and it was long. It took me 5-7 hours to do because of all the transformation that happens along the way.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing. Being able to do that from there to here, to be, to walk, and then when it hurts, and then to do the half marathon, that's amazing. I love it. Wow. Ladies, please connect with Maurine. She's amazing. Connect with her. We're going to post the information, the links and everything in the comments here. And before we conclude, I wanted to see who are your referral partners, Maurine? If there are anything, so anyone who's watching the video, if they would like to refer to you, who would be those partners? And then I want to also talk about, I know you have an amazing event coming up. I want to talk about that as well.
Great referral partners for me are women who work, or men who work with women who are on a path of out of the box, they support other people who are trailblazers, and they have women that they work with that are really committed to following their passion and following their joy, and they don't know why they can't get out of their own way. So it's like I do very untraditional type of support that gets to the root. We go to a point in your childhood of a decision that you made that may be totally limiting your ability to be a speaker now. Spirit will take us to a past lifetime where, you voiced yourself and you were burned at the stake. Or another woman I work with, there's the women ancestral programming that gets in the way. So it would be a person, either if you're an individual who is that, or if you have a business where you support women like that and you don't have the capacity, you don't have the access to doing the deep work that can get the women that are continue to show up in your program and have the desire and just for some reason aren't making it, that they need some additional support to get them over the hump. Those are my best referral partners that are women who are themselves spiritual, and their clients are spiritual, and their clients have a deep commitment to doing their passion in the world, and they just don't know what's holding them back.
So uncovering that's what's holding them back. That's great.
Because what we do, yesterday I was working with one of my clients. And she said in that session, she goes, we just did Mount Everest. We just went to the heights of Mount Everest, but there was no work involved. So that's an example of, in one session, we totally expand the possibility what your life can be, and there's no effort. Yeah.
Because a lot of it is, you're right, it's found in the childhood. And it sits in our subconscious sometimes. We don't even realize, right? As a big, huge obstacle. And we find all this, we try to find reasons, or we're finding other reasons as to why not.
Or it's scary to find the reasons.
Scary to find.
It's scary, we're not remembering that for a reason.
Yeah.
It became the background of life.
Yeah.
It, sometimes it's for me, I didn't find this out until I had a session in May. My mother was worried about money from the time before I was even born. I have worried about having enough money my entire life. It's like, oh my God, she was worried about having enough money to support me. So I literally took that on as life from just being baked in her soup.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. When it comes to money, it's whole other issue where we have so many things and attitudes that come from our parents, from our childhood, from our upbringing. Right. And I think sometimes maybe even we know, but we are afraid to go back there, or we know what's holding us back, but then we kind of have it as a safe protection for us and keep it there, even though we know we will be way more powerful once we get through that. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And so before we conclude, did you want to share the events that you're coming up?
Yes, I have. It's called the Love Train. It's a gathering of women, like-minded, like-hearted, that are looking for community. They're looking for support. They're looking for a space to show up and leave more grounded, more peaceful, more expanded, break through. It's a combination of having literally a group of women that you can feel like, oh, I belong here. They're going through the same stuff I do, and that you're going to receive powerful guidance. You're going to receive activations, and you're going to leave with a space and a possibility to move forward in your life more from a space of love and being the love that you are. The first, it's been a series of it. So today, Friday, November 19th at 1:00 Pacific Standard Time, there's still definitely room. The next one is Monday, December 13th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. These are free these are free. They're my gifts to you. And women that have done that before, they literally, they're looking at their life in a different way. And you just never know what's going to be sparked in the company of other women, and as well as the guidance that I do.
Beautiful. And I love the name, Love Train.
And I'm going to put the comment in the links, but if you want it, MaurineXavier.com/events, MaurineXavier.com/events. It's there, and the links to sign up for free are on my webpage.
Love it. Awesome. Yes. And again, we will have the links in the comments here as well. Ladies, connect with Maurine. Maurine, this has been so great. Such a great conversation. And I feel like we found some more connections between us. So thank you for taking the time to chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We made this happen. Thank you so much. And I look forward to being on that Love Train in December.
Yeah. Join us.
Ladies, have an amazing weekend, everyone. And never forget how awesome and wow woman you are. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Maurine, bye. I'll see you soon. Thank you again.